I'm a postpartum personal chef and a mother of 2. Here are the top 10 foods that I would have in my kitchen if I had a baby tomorrow. We're going to start at 10, but be sure to stick around for number 1 because it is by far, in my mind, actually I would say 2 and 1 are the most important foods. So stick around for those 2. If you do nothing else today, you need to know the top 2. A couple housekeeping notes before we get started. We fixed the drywall in our room, but did we ever paint over it? No, we did not. Will we someday? One can only hope, but we'll see. Secondly, the button on my dress is broken. I'm not a seamstress. And so here we are. I'm wearing the dress because I refuse not to wear it the rest of my life. But you may see that the little button attachment pops out from time to time. I'm sorry. We're here today to rank the top 10 foods for postpartum recovery. If I were to have a baby tomorrow, these are the foods that I would have in my kitchen or my pantry. I have been a postpartum personal chef for nearing 7 years. I've cooked for women all over Nashville, from celebrities to moms who just decided to find space in their budget to prioritize their healing through food. And I personally have tried to support myself through nourishment for 2 postpartums now. So I have also that experience under my belt. As we get going, I will also say, while I do maintain that a few of these really pack a punch, altogether, you will see a lot of crossover in which nutrients we're highlighting, why they're important, and that you can get them in these different forms of food. And if you combine them all together, oh my gosh, you're going to be really cooking. Leafy greens. How many of us are so tired of hearing about leafy greens? I'm sorry, but it's for a reason. Leafy greens are a nutrient powerhouse. They are the primary source of fat-soluble vitamins A, C, E, and K. You do not want to miss your leafy greens if you are postpartum. Not to mention much needed fiber and minerals like iron, magnesium, potassium, and calcium. And I will let you know I'm here to talk about both supporting you, the postpartum mom, but also if you are choosing to breastfeed, the way that the food that you eat supports your baby. And so I will mention that if there's a separate note on that. And when it comes to leafy greens help support bone health in your growing baby. So that's a pretty cool fact. There are probably going to be a lot of foods and beverages that you find on any number of lists like this across the internet. I hope to highlight a few that you don't hear on other lists. I hope that you learned something new today. So number 9 is nettle tea. Nettle tea is incredibly nutrient dense. It is a fantastic source of iron, which if you've ever had a baby, you know that your iron stores are in the toilet. So we got to get those suckers back up. It aids in tissue repair, which whether you tear externally or not, every single person who has a baby has a wound internally that is the size of a dinner plate, and that is where the placenta detaches from the uterine wall. That wound needs to heal, no matter who you are, no matter what kind of birth you have. That needs to happen. And I've heard a doctor say before, if postpartum women were walking around with that specific wound on the outside of their body, there would be no question if we needed rest and recovery. Because we don't perceive it, we don't think about it. Guess what? It's still there. It still needs to heal. So tissue repair is one of the most important things when you are recovering postpartum. Nettle tea helps with that. And then finally, it has been known to help aid in milk production. I'm really not certain how much food and beverage really plays a part in the end, but I like to present all of the information for you, and anecdotally, nettle tea has been known to help aid in milk production, so take it or leave it. Chia seeds. Chia seeds are an exceptional source of something called ALA, alpha-linolenic acid, which is an omega-3 fatty acid. It's anti-inflammatory. It helps support brain health. Chia seeds are also a good source of protein, which we are always looking to find ways to add protein when we are postpartum and recovering, because those are the building blocks for repair. Chia seeds also have fiber. It aids in blood sugar regulation, and it is anti-inflammatory, which anybody who has had a baby knows you just feel generally inflamed no matter what your experience was. So we love to add an anti-inflammatory food whenever possible. Allow me to be the 800th person to tell you to drink bone broth postpartum. There are so many reasons. Let's talk about it. Bone broth aids in gut health, and your gut contains roughly 80% of your immune cells. So if you want to stay well, despite crazy lack of sleep and a bunch of other adverse factors, you should probably be protecting your gut health and your immunity. Additional collagen and protein aid in tissue repair. That's huge. And then there's sleep. I know that sounds crazy, but I think when you are postpartum, immediately postpartum, you really need your available sleep to be qualitative, even though it's not quantitative. So bone broth helps with qualitative sleep, and that's worth its weight in gold. Next, we have ghee. Ghee is considered a postpartum superfood by both modern science and Ayurveda, which for me, anytime one of the more ancient traditions lands on the same page as modern science, I'm like, yes, that is where we need to focus our energy. Ghee doesn't have lactose or casein. That's the difference between ghee and like a really good sourced butter. They both have a lot of really incredible nutrients, but if you are at all struggling to process dairy, you may be able to process ghee. It's known to be grounding, improves digestion, and it supports the absorption of nutrients, which, here's the thing, if you're going to be eating all of these nutrients and really prioritizing nutrient replenishment, you want to make sure that your body is absorbing said nutrients. What a waste of time it would be otherwise. Also, I told you that I would tell you these things, but Ayurveda says that ghee helps your body produce breast milk. Take it or leave it, baby. Ginger root. Ginger is one of my favorite things to rely on when I'm cooking for a new mom, and also one of my favorite things for myself, and here's why. You can put it in your food, or you can merely steep it in a mug of hot water, and either way, you're going to get digestive benefits and anti-inflammatory benefits. To me, both of those things are so incredibly helpful, especially in those early postpartum days. I can't get enough. Just ginger me. I'm not here to say that powdered ginger doesn't have the same benefits, but I'm not sure powdered ginger has the same benefits. So just, even if you're not used to keeping it around, grab a little root from the grocery store, keep it in your produce bin, and slice off a few coins, throw it in your soup, throw it in your bone broth, throw it in a cup of hot water, find ways to incorporate it. It's really not that hard, and it is so beneficial. I want you to include stewed meats in your postpartum recovery menu. It could be braised chuck, oxtail, braised chicken thighs, beef stew. To be a delicious stewed meat, the meat already has to have a lot of that collagen and glycine and the joints and the fattiness, and all of that is super beneficial postpartum. On top of that, you're getting protein for tissue repair, which we already talked about, crucial, and it replenishes iron stores. Triple whammy as far as I'm concerned. I've mentioned this before and I'll say it again. When you are postpartum, you want to focus on warming foods. Warm, slow cooked food. Stewed meats require that. You're not just going to sit down and chew on a steak. You're not going to eat a salad with grilled chicken on it. This is an opportunity to sit down and eat a steaming bowl of something that has been slowly broken down and is bioavailable. That means the nutrients that it's providing, your body can use them. It doesn't have to do a bunch of extra work when it's already tied up doing 100,000 other things for you and your baby right now. It says, thank you for the nutrients. I know exactly what to do with them. That's bioavailability. Fatigue, headache, lightheadedness. Have you ever felt any of those things? You will postpartum, and that's why you need electrolytes. Electrolytes support recovery. Did you know that going through labor is akin to running a marathon? It's a very similar caloric output. It's a similar length of time. I mean, for some women, you are in labor for over 20 hours. You need to be replenishing qualitative hydration. We don't want to just be drinking water here. We want to be drinking something that is going to hydrate on a cellular level. So whatever your chosen hydration packet is, or you can make your own with like a pinch of pink Himalayan sea salt in your water. I really like Element. I think we've learned that since I fell in love with Element, we've learned that there are more qualitative options on the market, but I love and crave that saltiness that Element has. So go with what works for you. The only thing I don't love is Liquid IV because there's so much sugar in it, but just do what works for you. You could also drink coconut water if you prefer that form of an electrolyte. Regardless, we want to be hydrating on a qualitative level, not just on a quantitative level. This is where it gets really good. I'm excited. These final two, these are where it's at. They actually both battle it out for the title of Nature's Multivitamin. I kid you not. I've always referred to number 1 as Nature's Multivitamin, and then I found out that people also call number 2 Nature's Multivitamin. So really, you can't go wrong here. Number 2 is Liver and organ, nutrient density for days. The amount of nutrients packed into pound for pound, ounce for ounce, liver and organ meat, you would not believe. I encourage you to look at the charts. There's some charts out there. Lily Nichols has several charts that display the nutrient density of liver and organ meat, and it is absolutely incredible. You've got vitamins, you've got minerals, and then on top of that, you have folate and choline. And all of these are packaged in something that's, again, there's that word, bioavailable. You could take physical capsules of all of these things. It's not going to be absorbed by the body in the same way. It's not going to be utilized by the body in the same way. And it's not going to replenish your nutrient stores in the way that you need them to. When it comes to liver, recovery and nutrient replenishment are tops. You cannot beat this. If you are afraid, you need not be. I will do a separate video on the ways that I incorporate liver and organ into my clients' foods, but I will just say don't be afraid. You're a big kid. When you see the data, you know you can't cheat yourself out of something like this. This is what your body deserves after all it's been through. Can you take a liver supplement? Yes. Do I think you should? No, but you can. And if that's all you're going to do, if you're like, I will not be eating liver or organ meat, then I would say, well, at least take a supplement. Do what you have to. Do what you can. We made it to number 1. The nutrient powerhouse, the multivitamin of nature, eggs, the beautiful, the powerful egg. Packaged in this little guy are essential vitamins and minerals for your recovery, for your nutrient stores, for your overall health, and for your baby's development. If you are breastfeeding, you need to be eating eggs, please. But even if you're not, you need to be eating eggs, please. Unless you are allergic, find a way. If it grosses you out, incorporate them into something else. I know some people cannot stomach just a plate full of eggs. You could do a custard, especially because custards feature the egg yolk, which is the most nutrient-dense part of the egg. I don't want to see you eating egg white omelets when you are postpartum. Don't come at me with an egg white omelet if you are postpartum. I need you to be eating the yolk. That is where the choline is. That is where all of the vitamins and the minerals. Yes, there's protein in the egg whites. Great. We're appreciative of you. Thank you, protein. That's pretty much all it has to offer. So let's really focus in, find a way to incorporate a good amount of egg into your diet. This is a huge thing for your baby's brain health if you are breastfeeding. Choline is huge. There's so much choline in eggs, and there's fats for hormone balance. It really is a lot of different incredible things wrapped up into one little guy who shows up on the scene just to help you recover postpartum. Thank you, eggs. Thank you for all you do for us. We love you. That's all I have for you today, but if you liked what I brought to the table today, please consider checking out my Substack, New Mom Noms. Yes, that is what it's called. On New Mom Noms, I like to talk about things exactly like this, but I also like to share recipes that highlight a lot of these ingredients, and sometimes I'll talk about the journey of motherhood, what it's like becoming a mom, what it's like going through postpartum, the emotional roller coaster, the things that we question, ways that we grow into new people. Please consider joining me over on Substack or just subscribe to my channel here and come join me again next time. Bye for now.